What's up guys, my name is Ace, and just in case you guys haven't noticed yet, there was a hotfix that went through today, and this had a bunch of weapon balancing changes in it. There was some nerfs, there was some buffs, and some of these are a pretty big deal, so very important to know about. Let's just kick it off with the MP40. The MP40 got a small buff to its rate of fire. It got a 5% increase to its rate of fire. So its rate of fire went from 681 rounds per minute all the way up to 715 rounds per minute. So a somewhat noticeable increase to the rate of fire with the MP40. One thing to note with this is it looks like they didn't touch any of the recoil statistics with this. And what this means is you're going to notice more recoil because there's less time to recenter between shots, and therefore recoil will get out of hand a little bit easier now with the MP40, but it does have a faster time to kill. We got a very similar change to the M1928 Thompson as well. This one got a 7% increase to its rate of fire, so it went from 833 rounds per minute all the way up to 871 rounds per minute. This one is a little bit more noticeable, and it's the same sort of story. It looks like the recoil starts to get out of hand a little bit faster, but it has a noticeably faster time to kill, which makes it a noticeably more powerful gun now than it was before this update. Moving on to the FG42, this is something that a lot of you guys definitely will have noticed if you play a lot with the FG42 and you picked it up today and played with it for a bit. You should have immediately noticed they decreased the fire rate significantly with the FG42. It now fires at only 441 rounds per minute. This was a 15% decrease to the rate of fire, a massive, massive change to this gun. This means the time to kill is noticeably slower. I don't think we're going to be seeing this gun in competitive very much anymore. They pretty much destroyed the FG42. Now, another thing that Condry mentioned with his little Twitter patch notes with this, keep in mind at the time of recording this video, I don't have proper patch notes. This was just based off of my hand testing. They also said that they were going to be increasing the recoil with the FG42, but it seems like since we have that lower fire rate, we actually have more manageable recoil now with the FG42. So its time to kill kind of got destroyed, but it is a little bit more accurate, so it's still going to be pretty decent at those like mid to longer ranges when you're just trying to pick off those accurate 3-shot kills. Next up, we got a couple changes to the LMGs. So for all of the LMGs, they increased the base movement speed. Keep in mind, this has nothing to do with your aim down sight strafe movement speed. I did the testing on this, that has not changed. But your overall just base movement speed with LMGs looks like it got increased by 2.75%. So instead of moving at 90%, you're moving at 92.75%, which is slightly noticeable. It's not a massive change by any means, but you may have noticed that if you just find yourself running around with an LMG. In addition to this, the Lewis as well as the MG15 both got reduced recoil, although with the Lewis, if we look at the before and after here, before, the Lewis had pretty much only vertical recoil, so very, very predictable, very, very controllable. Now they cut down on that vertical recoil significantly, but it seems to kick side to side a bit more often. And to me at least, this is actually slightly less controllable, and it's going to be slightly worse at those longer ranges, but you can spam it for a longer period of time without it getting out of control. As for the MG15, this got a very noticeable reduction to its recoil. It's much more controllable now. I didn't feel like it was too bad before, but now this thing is much, much more accurate than it was before this patch. Moving on to the machine pistol. The machine pistol got a nerf to its damage ranges, specifically its maximum damage range. So its 5-shot kill remains unchanged. It's exactly the same as it was before, but its 4-shot kill range was actually nerfed by 66%. This was a massive change to that 4-shot kill range. It's basically only going to have that 4-shot kill pretty much up close now, and then beyond that it's going to be a 5 to 6-shot kill. I think that was an okay change. I don't feel like the machine pistol was severely overpowered before, but I think this was more for competitive play. I think it probably falls in line a little bit better for competitive play now. And finally, we've got a pretty noticeable change to the combat shotgun. This isn't the change that I would have made, but let's just have a look at it. Before with the combat shotgun, it took 3 pellets to kill out to 6 meters. Then from 6 to 10 meters, it took 8 pellets to kill, which is all the pellets in a shot. And then beyond that, it's going to take 2 to 3 shots to kill out to 15 meters. Beyond 15 meters, you literally can't deal damage. Let's have a look at the post-patch with the combat shotgun. Keep in mind this is hand-tested. We got a noticeable increase to our 3-pellet kill potential. I would put that at roughly 8 meters or so. And this means we're going to be getting those more consistent 1-shot kills out to a longer range. And then you'll notice we also have a 4-pellet kill range that replaced our previous 8-pellet kill range. So this means we have to be much less precise all the way out to approximately 12 meters. So instead of having to hit every single pellet in our shot to get a 1-shot kill, Now we only have to hit 4 pellets out to 12 meters and we'll get one-shot kills. So the combat shotgun is extremely powerful now out to a very good range for shotguns, as long as you're somewhat accurate with your shot and you can land at least 4 pellets. Now beyond that 12-meter range, it looks like nothing really changed there. It's still going to be like 2 to 3 shots to kill, depending on how many pellets you hit, and beyond 15 meters, you're still dealing absolutely no damage. So basically what they did with the combat shotgun is they made it stretch out a little bit further and made it more deadly out further, but it didn't solve the issue of it being really inconsistent at those point blank ranges where you still have to land 3 pellets. When you factor lag and stuff into the equation and just general inaccuracies, hitting 3 pellets at point blank range can sometimes be difficult, especially if a guy's like running by you, and this can sometimes lead to point blank hit markers that you really feel you shouldn't be getting with a shotgun. That's not going anywhere. That's not going to change with this update, but it does stretch out much further and it's much more consistent at getting those further one-shot kills. So this isn't necessarily the change that I would have made to the combat shotgun. If anything, I would have just buffed the regular 3 pellet kill range, not in the distance that it has, but more so just make it so it's a 1 to 2 pellet kill, and then keep the rest of the ranges exactly the same. That would have made it more consistent up close without changing its like long range potential, and that way you're not making other players upset like SMG players when you're really stretching out and getting those crazy one-shot kills that you don't feel like you should be getting, but it would make it more consistent. Instead, they decided to go the route with making it have a greater one-shot kill potential at range without really affecting its consistency up close. Also, I was very surprised to see that the combat shotgun was the shotgun they decided to buff. There doesn't seem to be any changes to the sawed-off or the Luftwaffe drilling, and these are the ones I feel needed love the most, not so much the combat shotgun. So I'm quite surprised to see that. Hopefully we will see some changes to those in the future, but as it is right now, it looks like just the combat shotgun in that category got a buff. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for this massive update. Like I said, I don't have access to detailed patch notes at the time of me recording this. Perhaps by the time this goes live, those will be live, and if they are, I will be sure to leave a link in the description below to those so you can check it out. But just based on what Condry told us about what changed, these are the changes that I was able to find with my hand testing. Some pretty major ones here. Looks like a lot of people are going to be dropping that FG42 now, and you might see a few more MP40s and Thompsons kicking around. As always, I'd like to know in the comment section below, what do you guys think of these changes? Do you think they were some good changes? Do you think they overdid it in some areas? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.